Hello, hello, my beautiful friends. I am setting things up. Okay, 1 second. Welcome, welcome, darlings. Going to make sure everything is closed. Okay. Happy Sunday, or whenever you are going to catch this replay, or if you're here with me live. It is so good to be with you again. I have missed this connection video, live streaming with you. It's still one of my favorite ways to connect, to share ideas, to share insights, tears and laughter, epiphanies, and whatever else is coming through. So I am going to start in a little bit, but for now, I'm going to see who is here with me so I can greet you. Let me know in the comments who is here. I see Christina. Woo, woo, woo. Hi, sister. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So let me know who is here in the comments. Maybe send me like a little flower emoji or a heart so I can see your name. I see you, my beautiful soul sister. Hi, darlings. This is Katerina Satori. I'm coming to you on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And I wanted to see what will come through when I share with you these insights, specifically for my fellow mystical hearts and my fellow mystical souls who have been feeling that this is a very special lifetime that we chose to incarnate. It's a very, very unique, accelerated timeline that we are going through. And sometimes it can feel like there's a lot of being asked from us, right? So when I was contemplating what is the new way to live, serve, and lead, and this will be a message specifically for my fellow light workers, beings who remember the divinity of their nature, who've been sitting through many, many dark nights of the souls, who've been looking deep into their own shadows, into their own inner world, who've been excavating their pain body and doing this courageous healing work in order to be ready for this moment, for this year. So when 2020 came, we all kind of said, I'm so glad I've had several nights, dark nights of the souls before. So I am ready and I am willing to walk this path. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Toria and Ian, I see is joined. Hello, beautiful heart. So good to be with you. Well, you know, it's very interesting because what I am receiving through my own deep contemplation lately is this one key message. The nature of spirit-filled leadership, as I've known it before, is asking me to see it in a completely new way. It's this ongoing metamorphosis. Every single day, something new is being revealed. And I am discovering that the deepest and authentic power that I can uncover when I am willing not to know what is waiting ahead of me, when I am willing not to know how the vision is going to unfold, and what are the pieces and what are the elements, when I'm willing to be energetically naked in my experience, and being willing to walk in this moment by moment discovery of the path, moment by moment unfoldment of the journey. And what always helps me is this prayer of surrender that I dedicated my entire life to spirit, very, very consciously about 5 years ago. I'll never forget that moment, because before that moment, I was really in service to my mind. I was in service to my own ambition. I was in service to my own individual path, which is very much glorified in our Western culture. And then there was a critical, crucial moment where I felt this deep inner shift to surrendering my individual path into the will of the whole. And there is a big difference between the will of society that is made of a bunch of individuals, and then the will of the whole, right? It takes lifting our consciousness to see what is happening in the world archetypally and shamanically. When I remember to lift my consciousness to see what is happening to humanity as a single awareness, that I am able to decode serendipity and synchronicity and what is unfolding moment by moment and day by day. And when I'm willing to read what is happening symbolically, archetypally, and shamanically, I source my trust in what's happening from a completely different plane of reality. Let me know if you're still with me, darlings. I'm going to start on a light note this live stream, maybe with some humor. And here I go. Well, that's what it's coming through, darlings. This is experience of being open to this moment, letting go of control what is coming through me. So many times people come to me, especially my personal clients, and they say, Katerina, I have this desire to open up my channel. I want to be a channel for spirit. I want to allow a deeper message to come through. And you know what I say? I always say, are you willing to stand energetically naked in the moment, not knowing what will come through your throat chakra? Are you willing to stand in that discomfort until it becomes divine play, until you become more and more flexible instrument in the hand of the divine? So what is happening? How do you decode the will of the whole, right? What is happening on the bigger plane? There's this greater intelligence that is guiding humanity, a greater plan that is unfolding. And it takes so much surrender to say, I have my own plans for my own life and my own vision, right? And then there is a vision of the whole that wants to be expressed through you. And the mind will not, usually doesn't surrender without a fight. I have a very, very strong mind, and it's a blessing. And I'm not going to say the curse, but an obstacle. It's a blessing and an obstacle, because when spirit is asking my mind to release what I thought was my vision, my mind will fight. And this is where the power of seeing your life from the level of symbols and archetypes and shamanic perspective Seeing what's happening will help you source a greater sense of confidence in your journey. I had a beautiful session with one of my spiritual mentors who's been in a spiritual leadership for over 30 years, 30 or 40. I love learning from the elders. It's one of my, it's something that I treasure the most in my life. When I call in elders who walk this path, who have seen different generations, who have seen, society going through the dark nights of the soul, who've been seeing the ups and downs of the human journey, because the wisdom that the elders can share with you is timeless, and it's also very succinct. And this teacher of mine said, Katerina, us light workers are being called to fill this very unique role. And it's called a spontaneous leadership that is flexible, that is adaptive, that is guided by spirit moment by moment. And I really took that in. I really, really took that in. And then I began to laugh with my plans. Long gone are the days where I make any like 5-year plans or 3-year plans. Those days are so long gone. But this year taught me even a bigger lesson of how to be guided by spirit moment by moment. And whatever vision that is coming through, remembering that the vision is building itself around you, right? It's like this beautiful fractal mandala that is building itself around you. And a huge epiphany came when I began to see that every vision that comes to us has a soul, has an essence, has its own rhythm, has its own intelligence. So I began to let go of the thinking that I create the vision or I bring the vision forward. Was lots of humility in this process. Vision is creating itself around you. Vision is creating itself around you. When I tune into that, I feel instant relief. I feel instant relief of carrying, of thinking that I get to carry it all on my shoulders. I begin to remember there's always this co-creative dance between invisible world and the visible world. Us in the physical, vision in non-physical, spirit and matter creating the third, spirit and matter coming into union, giving birth to something new. In this way, our life can be perceived as art. And a new way to live, I feel applies the same way. It's 2020 really, really showed me how fluid and flexible I get to be with all of my plans. And if I really live in surrender and service to spirit, spirit gives me instructions day by day, precisely what I need to know for this day, precisely what I need to be informed for this day. And then follow the flow, follow the path of your highest joy, follow the path of the deepest simplicity and the highest alignment. And an example that beautiful elder shared with me. She said, Katerina, we have evolved. We lived, remember the times where we lived in caves, and in the very, very beginning of our civilization, where people lived so true to the moment, right? The moment was guiding you to experience. People so true to the moment. They were not true to the future or to the past. The moment contains the answers, the information, the next direction, everything. It takes a deep sense of trust to be true to the moment and to allow that vision that is forming around you to reveal itself to you in all its metamorphosis, in all its fluidity, in all its miraculous power. And it takes a lot of courage to bring forward something new, something that has not been done before. I keep feeling that this next decade is a golden decade for all light workers, all mystics, shamans, witches, and wizards, all of the old souls who've been trained for this moment. But this golden decade will not going to be given to us on a silver platter. Oh no. There is an admission ticket. And you know what it is? It's something that I keep hearing what is being asked of me. The admission to this golden decade is willingness to bring our most courageous work, without a plan, without the blueprint, without any insistence on a particular outcome. To take creative risks, to allow something that has never been done before to come through you. Hi, beautiful souls. I see you here. And why is it so vulnerable to bring something that has never been done before? Why there are so many voices of self-doubt? I'm not ready. I'm not willing. Why is it so safe? It feels so safe to do something that you have done before. I keep sitting in this inquiry, in this discovery, beloved souls. I'm sitting in it with you. Those of you who are willing to ask yourself that question. What is my most courageous work? What is my most courageous work? What I am being asked to bring forward that has never been done before through my unique gifts, through my willingness to stand energetically naked and not to know what happens next, to dare to bring something so original, so enchanting. Spontaneous devotional leadership is the frequency that I've been tapping into, beloveds. Spontaneous devotional leadership. Where you feel the call, you call of the spirit, and you simply raise your hand and you say, I'm available for this task. I don't need to know what it will ask of me. I don't need to know the entire path. I am choosing to be available for this task. I'm choosing to feel the place of this spontaneous devotional leadership. I'm choosing to see change and unknown as my greatest ally. Because the less attached I am to my plans and my vision, the more empty I become for the true creation to come through. Whew. Veronica, yeah, thank you for the reassurance. You're welcome, beloved. You're welcome. We agreed to help each other find courage, you know? On the spirit plane, you know why some people feel so familiar to you? It's because you're from the same galactic line, you're from the same lineage. You walked similar wisdom paths. Your lineages crisscross and your parallel lifetimes. You know, that's why when I remember that, I let go of trying to almost like control what is coming through. Just trusting that what is coming through is what is coming through. So a new way to live, lead, and to serve, how I'm experiencing this is to become more and more empty. More and more empty. I've been going through this deep emptying out of so many stories, rules, and controls, which is just the mechanism of the ego. And the heart knows how to surrender to the mystery, and the heart delights in the spontaneous expression of the moment. So the heart-centered leadership is being willing not to know, being willing to trust that the less you know, the more you allow spirit to guide you. My favorite mantra is, I don't need to know where I'm going because spirit knows and I follow spirit. I used to think that leadership says, I know. My new discovery is spirit-filled leadership says, spirit knows, and I follow what spirit tells me. This is my recent discoveries, beloveds, and it's such a beautiful journey, such a beautiful journey. I love that I don't know how the path will go. I don't know how the rest of this year will unfold, but there is such liberation where you say, I don't need to know. Because there is something eternal that is watching over the process of life and including my role in the greater pattern that is unfolding. And my only job, my only assignment is to listen deeper to instructions of spirit that come moment by moment by moment. There's a great freedom and a great joy It's this great return to innocence, you know? It's a great return to innocence. Life becomes so simple when we learn to trust it fully. Serena says, my heart swells with joy every time I see you wearing this necklace. I love this necklace, Serena, so much. Serena made me this necklace for my birthday, and I just love it so much. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love it. Thank you, beloved. Yes, darlings, so much. Return to innocence. Be like a childlike. And you know, when I say for Lightworkers being willing to do our courageous work, you know, our most courageous work is to trust in our unique creative potential. Unique creative potential. Some people call it your zone of genius. And living in your zone of genius is doing the work that you do with the least amount of effort, where you lose all concept of time, where you become timeless in expressing this particular side of your creativity. But I think I wrote a post about it. I'll share a post about it tomorrow, because our collective society doesn't encourage people shine in their true genius. You know what being encouraged is? Status quo, what is also known your zone of excellence. Another way to say it, what you think you should do in order to thrive, in order to be successful, in order to reach your goals, in order to fulfill your dreams. And so many times, I have these incredibly vulnerable conversations with people when they say, Katerina, there's this new version that's coming through me. But my old version, my entire life is built on this old version, and I'm terrified of letting it go. People know me as this. My business is known as this, or my message is known as this. Right? So there is a great leap of faith to step into unknown and to bring this new evolution of you. Guided by spirit. Yeah. I'm going through the same thing, my loves. I'm going through this myself. The only way I can share these messages with you is because I'm going through it myself. And there's this shedding, when I took some time off from social media, I believe it was 11 days, there was a deep shedding of like yet another version of identity. The reason I have this wonderful tattoo that says wisdom with a snake, right? You can see there's a snake because the snake is a symbol of wisdom, but also a symbol of death and rebirth, of this ongoing shedding of who you think you are, and this ongoing discovery of your new self. Every moment you are new, every moment something new is coming in. And it's like taking all these labels, who you think you are, and returning to this spontaneous expression of your soul beauty, of your creativity, of what are you feeling called to bring forth? What is your deepest message? Hi, love. So good to be with you. Gloria has joined. Gloria, I wanted to say congratulations on your new baby. Congratulations on your baby, mama. Thank you so much for bringing a soul into the world. Yeah. So powerful, right? So powerful. Yes, my loves, it's really interesting, Oh, Serena says, a light bulb went off yesterday. One of my soul animals is spider. I love spider medicine. Spider, snake, those are great symbols that we can learn from the animal kingdom. But the reason I wanted to share with you this, my tattoo of wisdom comes from not knowing. The reason it's tattooed on my left arm on the side that represents my inner feminine, is because when my mind thinks it's running the show, that I know I'm about to fall on my face, right? And it's like wisdom comes from the moment, fresh, original, spacious. You cannot control wisdom. You simply can bow down to it and approach it with reverence and say, teach me, teach me. So the biggest discovery, my loves, is I used to think that I bring the vision. And now I'm seeing the vision is forming itself around me. And I can choose to be a humble midwife to it. That's the beauty of creative process. That's the beauty of creative process. You know, when we get out of the way and we allow and trust the process completely, something of the most exquisite beauty will come through. Unparalleled magnificence. Something so fresh. And it's fresh and it's enchanting and it's magical because it hasn't been tainted by our rules or control that comes from the ego. So how do I ground this and make it practical? Even though I feel there's such mystical souls here. Spontaneous devotional living, spontaneous devotional service, spontaneous devotional leadership. You know, to me, it's this. To me, it's silence. I think there's nothing else to add to this. And yeah, ongoing discovery, my loves, ongoing discovery. Well, maybe a practical example would be for me to share my process with this vision. Just feeling it. Yeah, you know, I remember 3 years ago, I was teaching a business mastery event live in person. I believe I had 20 people there, different coaches and teachers and healers. And that was my last in-person. Was it my last in-person business event? I believe so. And 3 years ago, I just something spontaneously came through me, and I said, you know, one day I would love to open a mystery school. And everybody in the group said, yes, please bring it, like bring it forth. And it took about 3 years for me to actually grow into a surrender to that vision. It's one thing to tap into a brilliant idea on the mental plane and say, this would be wonderful to bring forward. And another way to grow in your embodiment and to empty yourself. So there comes a point you say, I'm empty enough for this vision to come through. I couldn't see this difference before. And right, I couldn't see this difference before, my loves. And now sometimes I feel I'm struggling to express it, and I'm trusting. But that's the difference, right? That's the difference that I'm finding, that I'm discovering. Yeah. And the vision for Mystery School has never left my heart. Has never left my heart. I'm not going to officially announce it here on this live stream, but as you know, I love planting seeds. The age that we are living in right now demands a different kind of mystery school. You know, before I was able to write posts about my remembrance of the times of Atlantis or maybe in a medium, I was a deeply closeted mystic. Deeply closeted mystic. I was hiding this mystical side of me. It was incredibly vulnerable to reveal. I would share it with people who knew me really well and who earned my trust. But to bring the side of me publicly in the world was terrifying, because it was such a deeply, deeply intimate part of me. If you know, just the thought of public criticism of something that is so sacred to me was feeling intolerable. So my higher self, in its infinite compassion, said, okay, we can stretch out this process. We can make this process a little bit longer. You want to take 5 years until you're ready? We can do that. So I remember 5 years ago, I did my very first group energy work, where I learned the simple technology of how to clear karmic blocks from people's auras. And I was just simply willing to say, oh, what the heck, let me just step into it and give it a go. I'm going to learn something here. And hi, beautiful souls, I'm here with you. It's so good to see you. So 5 years ago, I did my first group energy work, darlings. And I remember stepping into it, and it was like the most natural activity that I could ever do. I tapped into my zone of genius very naturally, almost stumbled upon it. But all it took was a willingness to raise my hand and said, you know what, I'm willing to take a risk. I'm willing to do something like this. I'm willing to share my mystical essence with a group of people. So when it comes to a mystery school that is in demand for our times, it's an open mystery school. Our lives can be seen as a mystery school. We can practice alchemy in our daily life. We can practice conscious co-creation of the quantum universe in our daily lives. We don't need to go into caves or into ashrams or ancient temples and live these aesthetic lives. It has already been done before. We don't need to recreate the past. But the new vision is when we bring this great remembrance of our ancient mystical nature, and we're able to fully participate in our ordinary lives by maintaining our mystical essence. Fully awake within the dream. That's the mystery school. That's the new assignment. I'm choosing to be fully awake within the dream. And when I forget, I know how to come back. I know how to come back. Hi, loves. I have no idea how long I was going. Oh, 40 minutes. Should I wrap this up? Oh, so I am happy to share with you more about the Mystery School and a leadership academy that is forming itself. Let's just say that, forming itself. And I am willing to raise my hand and to say, I am willing to be the midwife for this vision. Huge distinction. Huge distinction. So in the next week, I will be reaching out privately to the people who I feel this vision will be for, and then I'm going to open it up to my entire community. But for now, darlings, I always have this desire to peel the curtains and to say, this is the process, of beautiful co-creative dance with your calling, with your true calling. This is what it takes to bring something that has never been done before in your unique way. And it takes this radical willingness not to control it, but to bow down it in reverence and say, Spirit knows where it's going. Spirit knows where it's guiding. And I'm willing to be an instrument in the hands of the Great Spirit. And when that happens, so much more magic can come through. So much more magic. Hi, loves. So good to see you. I believe deeply, deeply, deeply there's a sense of knowing that for light workers, and you know precisely who you are. You know precisely who you are. This can be a golden decade for us, where we really build something lasting, where really we live our legacy. But what will be required is willingness to bring our most courageous work forward. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be so difficult. If you're willing not to know how the path will unfold, and you just say, I trust my capacity, I trust the next moment, I'm staying true to the moment, then it can be playful, then it can be adventurous, then it can be so much joy in the whole journey. I love you. Thank you for sharing this time with me, darlings. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. And my prayer is that for all people who are going through their maybe first deep, deep, dark night of the soul, that they find their way back to spirit, to opening up their consciousness and their souls to spirit. And then one day they look back and they say, 2020 was the most important year of my life because it helped me see how I lived in service of my ego. And when all of my false securities fell away and my ego got cracked open and the grace came and I got to see the beauty of opening my heart to spirit, this was the year that changed everything, right? It's the year that changed everything. That's my prayer for everyone. For us to remember there is a greater, greater, greater pattern that is unfolding. Such a greater intelligence, a greater plan. And there's many wise ones who are watching over humanity right now. And many mystics have been talking about the Council of Light and the White Brotherhood and the mystical Shambhala. There's many words to describe the spiritual council that is guiding humanity, that is watching very closely. And I feel that all of the light workers will be called upon to serve with more courage, with deeper trust, and with more willingness to not know. Because wisdom comes to us from the unknown. Knowledge is of the mind, wisdom is of the heart, and your heart knows precisely how to trust the next moment. And on this note, this was my Sunday service. Sunday service, devotional service. I had the beautiful heart. Look at this beautiful heart made of selenite that I got. Anything is possible for those with pure hearts. Thank you for joining me. I love you. And I'll speak with you very soon.